It is repetition which makes for perfection.
All right. You guys using very old movie quotes. All right. I lied. I was gonna do a headshot, but the headshot would just be a big red dome. Really, yeah. Quick draw 13s from Australia. He should have been the one giving that quote. Are they rebooting Crocodile Dundee? No, I think that was a joke. That was like a joke advertisement, and joke ad, and but it gained some traction. So I mean, I'm sure someone's like, you know what? People seem to really respond to that. So the reason why I like to use a loose pencil, like sort of a blunter pencil like this, is that it's got a very the blunter the tip, the faster it moves across the paper, even if it's just a tiny little amount. A sharper tip will actually dig into the paper and cut into the tooth a little bit. And the name of the game at this stage is to just sort of freely, like if you're writing a paper, an essay, they say at the start you basically kind of pump the mind. The drawing equivalent of that would be just to get a blunt pencil, and just kind of move it around, kind of drawing form, but at the same time just trying to feel the gesture. It's I don't know how else to really describe it other than I'm not as worried about form or structure. It's more about the gesture, the expression, the emotional state of the drawing. So sometimes I will go ahead and do the 3-arm version of Red Hood. He goes back and gives this gift. It changes everything, and creates an unusual world. And to me, I want to explore that world. It was pretty cool. Anyway, if you read it, it has I think it has a very Shakespearean ending. For those of you who have read it and are familiar with Macbeth, okay, that's all I will say. I believe No Justice has come out as well. Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, Josh Williamson. Talk about it later. I feel like we could just have a stream where we just talk about comics, no drawing, but that might be kind of boring. Maybe it's a stream where we draw, I draw, but we say there's going to be spoilers, so do not come in expecting, something like that. I'll figure it out. We have lots of ideas for streams at this point, which is great. I don't want to ever get into sort of a creative rut, and Wildstorm editor, writer, worked on the collectible card game that we produce as well. I think from his experience with Magic the Gathering. Oh, So when I sketch like this, I go straight to ink. It's not what I do. I probably would go tighter if I was doing this, you know. But this is a pretty safe sketch to do. When I say safe, in terms of the pose, and it's fairly easy also to kind of course correct and fix mistakes too on a character like this because he's in shadow a lot, and I can always just cast a harsher shadow if need be. Probably not the right way to teach figure drawing, but it is the truth. So he's basically a guy with a red hood, a trench coat, 2 pistols. So maybe I'll have some fun with the bandolier, the belt, the pouches. As you can see, I adjusted the belt down, looked a little high to me. And then he's got kind of fatigues, which are the same color as his top. I haven't spoiled anything. Everything I just shared with you guys, please don't throw things at me, was from the first 2 issues. If you're waiting in line, I would suggest next time doing the appointment route. You can get in and out super fast. And some DMVs are literally just empty, and others are super, super crowded. So it pays to do a little research to hack the DMV. Bat symbol is all sorts of different shapes. I kind of like the more simplified one. Alright, so for that I will actually pencil a bit. Whoever invented the trench coat should get royalties, for sure, from all these characters running around. Make a fortune. Punisher, Grifter, Red Hood, Gambit. There should be a superhero team of all people, just only in trench coats. Hey, good morning, Poop Kid. PK usually stays up all night long, so unless he's pulled an all-nighter, I'm surprised to see him here. Say I'm at the DMV for reals. Yeah. Anyway, so that's my little bit of. I'm sure it will fool the investigators for a nanosecond. Man, DMV is not getting any love. I feel I want to go to the DMV and stream from there while I'm waiting in line with a sketchbook. Actually, they don't even have a line. They have, like, you get a number now. You can sit. I remember in the old days we'd have to wait in line for hours. Kids today, they have it so easy. Looks like he's got gloves. Okay. This is all going to be mostly in black, so I don't have to worry about the structure too much, so I can kind of draw through. The only thing is I made the arm a little bit longer, which means the gun is going off. Well, try to cut it right there. Cut the hammer, the sights, the iron sights. Okay. Yeah, and then when I get to the teller, they probably would not break character for you to the wall. All right. So this is my warm-up sketch. Not too bad for 8:40 in the morning. I think the only way I draw at 8:40 in the morning is if I've been up all night. Thankfully, that is not the case today. Sometimes you could just draw the hand by drawing the outline. I know kind of roughly the silhouette and the gun stock, the butt has to go there. Finger goes in there. I know my cop buddy out there, Babu, not happy about the trigger. What's it called? It's hard to remember everything this early in the morning. Something safety. Trigger safety? No. Is that what it's called? Yes, he would. Maybe the second one I'll give him a rifle. But for this one, it's just I'm thinking 1911 45 cal handgun. Is it a Glock? I don't know. Could be a 6-hour. No, too long. I'll go Glock. Okay. Yeah. Maybe a slight wind blowing. Is there anything else I'm missing? I'm looking. Oh, yeah, maybe he's got. Let's do this. He's got. What are these called? Holsters, right? Yeah, holsters. Oh my god. That's my art dealer, my art rep. He's got this ability. I don't know if it's ability. What am I saying? He's got this condition where he can't. I shouldn't talk smack about people. It drives me crazy. He texts me like 2 or 3 words at a time. Okay. Now I'm gonna do my own kind of take on the character and just do some stuff that I was using reference to make sure I had all the elements of the costume right. Now I'm just kind of ignoring the reference and I'm just going to do kind of my version of the character, which is the character. It's just, I guess I could walk into the office and say, hey, this is the new Red Hood. So all these other things online, they're wrong. I might have a sponsor. I think that's what the pens and pencils. Now I kind of remember. They're gonna finally get some activity on the sponsorship front. I think like whiteout. I mean, who uses whiteout anymore? I mean, maybe when people used to type a lot with like an old-fashioned typewriter. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm coughing. visible from that. It's crazy, huh? This is going to be mostly in shadow, if not all in shadow. So I'll start there, and then I will feel my way up the drawing and decide how far that shadow extends down. See those like awesome lines right there that I'm inking with the side of the brush? That's what you get, like, they're super clean on the edges. That's what you get when you have a good brush that isn't mangled to bits, like the old ones I was using. You can throw those lines and they look good. So you can throw lines like this. I know. This is going to be a warm-up sketch. It's turned out to be something a little more involved, especially since we're at the 9 o'clock mark. And then we all know that this thing on his head, it's metallic, so I gotta do some reflections on it. But first, let me make all the areas that should be black, black. So a lot of these kind of throw lines are fun to do if you have a nice brush. When I think of like placing a lot of shadows like this, I think of like Eduardo Rizzo, who was a master of it. Mike Mignola, of course. And the power they get out of taking something all the way to black. which I'm going to do more on this side because the light source is the upper left-hand corner of the page. All right. One, two, three, 4 fingers and a thumb somewhere here. There's a lot going on down here. Maybe take it more to black here at the bottom. And on the sides. All right. This gun holster coming out probably makes him look a little more feminine than I wanted. So I'm going to correct that with ink here. Kind of made it look like he had ultra wide hips. Let's see what happens. There we go. So while we're waiting for this one to dry, we can move on to the next one.